There's a very big difference between absorbing information and application. There's a huge difference between consuming all of the great ideas and doing nothing, or being really intentional with it and making progress. We grew up with the phrase, home is where the heart is, but our culture has shifted and now the message is, home should be Pinterest perfect. I'm calling BS on that message. Home, it's not about the stuff, it's about the story. And whether you know it or not, your home is a reflection of you and is already saying something. So what is it that you want it to say? Hey, I'm Danny, a former first grade teacher turned home decorator. Going from a dual income to a single income so I could stay home with my babies meant budget, like ramen eating, Goodwill shopping budget. And I learned a few things along the way, like how to bring big style to your home without breaking the bank. And I'm sharing it all with you. Tips, tricks, decor, and design advice so you can learn to tell your story with your style, where you can start living free from the Pinterest perfect trap and start living a life of intention. Welcome to Fig and Farm at Home, where we design happy living and where it doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. One of my favorite things about being a first grade teacher was seeing the aha moments in the students. It was almost like, those cartoons where you see the light bulb pop on. Those are some of the reactions you could literally see. You wouldn't, of course, see the light bulb, but you would see the awakening. You would see the revelation. You would see the realization of whatever concept we were working on, whatever word we were grappling with, whatever thing that had just dawned on them that I get it. And although I miss those teeny tiny little faces doing those aha moments, giving me that kind of nonverbal confirmation that, yep, we're getting across. We've got it. We're making progress. I'm seeing that now in the progress of my design students. The clients who are taking the collective and applying what it is they are learning, who take action on the decorating SOS calls and are applying the skills that they're learning. There's a very big difference between absorbing information and application. There's a huge difference between consuming all of the great ideas and doing nothing, or being really intentional with it and making progress. And these aha moments from the students who are making progress is so much fun. And I end every call with them with, this is so inspiring. It is so inspiring. It's like that contagion, right? It's, when you have those giggles and you just can't help but laugh because the giggle is so out of control that it just is infectious. Okay, I love giggling like that, by the way, but it is like that. And so inside of the collective, which is my monthly decorating membership, we have a short video lesson, and then we have a challenge that goes along with it so they know how to apply that lesson to their home. And then we have 2 live coaching calls. And it's in those calls that we're seeing the progress, and these women are interacting with each other, and it's exciting for them to even see what has Lorraine done, or what has Susan done, or what do we get to see next? And you heard me last week talk about Kirsten and say, I cannot wait for this next call to see what it is she did. Well, we had the call. And I had something completely different planned for this podcast. I was going to talk about something different. But what you need to know is that when there is progress happening in real time, it is inspirational. And progress doesn't always mean money. It doesn't. Progress means intention. And I want that point to become very loud and clear, because it's not always about spending more. And I know that Black Friday right now is right around the corner, and we're going to be inundated with ads for spending more. And some of those things, I'm watching a few things because I've saved them for now, knowing I'm going to get the better deal. But when it comes to home decorating, what I want to say to all of you is, let's put intention and intentionality in front of stuff. Because stuff, friend, is not going to make your home the home that you wanted. Stuff is not necessarily going to turn those Pinterest pins that you've been pinning and kind of dreaming about a reality. There's still missing pieces, and those missing pieces are really what I teach, either one-on-one in a decorating SOS call or inside of the collective, those design principles and concepts, and then the application where we're working together in a group coaching setting, getting your questions answered. It's all about intention. So as you are opening up your mailbox today, because I know I'm going to find 5 new ads, and as you're turning on your computer and you're going to see 15 new ads, and as you are going around the stores this weekend, you're going to see who knows how many. I mean, could you imagine doing that experiment, counting how many ads for Black Friday you are going to see in one given day? And I'm not excluding myself. I am having a Black Friday sale that I'll tell you about in just a minute. But what I am saying is, if your desire is to have a home that you can't stop gushing about, a home that you absolutely love, it's not perfect, but it's better tomorrow after some intentional decision making than it was today. If that is your goal, then friend, I want you to put down your credit card when it comes to buying the things for your home, because we need to be intentional about it. So friend, let me tell you about my Black Friday sale. And if you are not on my list, this is the last time, by the way, I'm going to be talking about it on the podcast. The sale is only happening for those who are on my email list. And each day for next week, Monday through Friday, you're going to be receiving a deal of the day. It's like Amazon Prime Days, kind of the idea. And it's a flash sale. There are offers that are deeply discounted. There are offers that have high value bonuses. There are offers that you've never seen before. There are ways to work with me that I don't offer publicly, only for clients on the back end. There's just a lot. There's a lot of different options for you to take action. All of them are for you to take action. So if you want to know what those deals are, you need to get on the list by going to bit.ly/designbestie, BESTIE. You can get on my list, and then you're going to get that lookbook. The lookbook is coming out today. You're going to get that first deal delivered to you in your mailbox on Monday, and then we go from there. Once those 24 hours are gone, the deal is gone and the new one pops up. And it's such a fun event. It really is. I love myself a deal. I mean, who are we kidding? I like to go thrifting. In fact, I was talking to a girlfriend last night. I had some friends over to do we have what's called soup group, which is really fun. I love soup. I could eat it every single day. Also, I love making it. It's just super simple and easy. But I have another friend named Danny. Yeah, there are 2 Dannys in the world who are friends, yes. And she loves it, but her family can't tolerate it. So we've formed this little soup group. Once a month, we get together at one of our homes and we host some women from our church, and it's just so much fun. It's just giggling. It's just having conversation. It's just eating delicious soups. It is just a good time. But I was talking to one of these gals last night, and she had mentioned this idea of thrifting, and she said, I don't really understand what you look for when you go. I don't really understand it. It's fun. Like, I would go with you, but I would ask you, hey, can you tell me what you're looking for? And then I can kind of look for you and help you. But I don't know what to look for. And you know what my answer is going to be. If you've been hanging around for a while, you know what that is, right? Okay, A, it is intentional. B, it is all about your aesthetic. And once you understand your aesthetic, you can do things really creatively, thoughtfully, and on a budget. And as we were looking around the room, we kind of started identifying what the things were in the space that were thrifted. Yep, thrifted. And that is all starting with what I'm talking about here. And it's all starting with intentionality. When you take a moment to really identify what it is that you're drawn to over and over and over again, what those design elements are, and you apply it in I don't want to say formulaic process, but a process that says what you need, what you don't need, how the room's serving you, the colors, all the things. There is a process that you walk through. When you kind of apply that intentionality to your home, instead of going out and buying willy-nilly because there's a good sale, that is when you end up with a carefully curated, thought through home that is one of those that, and I say this kind of in a silly manner, but I really mean it to be true, that you end up in a home that you can't stop gushing about. I have clients who look around and say these things. I wish I would have done it sooner. Or why didn't I do it sooner? Or I didn't know it was going to be this easy. Yes, you have heard that word easy. I didn't know that if I took a little bit more time, it would have been this easy. So friend, the reason I'm telling you this today is because all of the deals for next week for me are going to be happening in order to give you action. And I believe all of them, I'm not looking at my list of what they are, but I believe all of them have me involved in some way. So there's some hand holding. And I do think that that is important for some of you who are just getting started. How do you learn what your aesthetic is? Okay, I've got a deal for that. How do you apply what it is you're learning? Okay, I have a deal for that. How do you make progress and keep that momentum going when you have done a couple things, but now you're stuck? I have a deal for that. The point is, it's not about buying stuff for stuff's sake. In fact, one of the very first things I say is, let's get rid of some of your stuff. Let's edit some of the things that you have, because those things are actually distracting us from the end goal or keeping us from that end goal. And let's be mindful, thoughtful, and strategic. All right, if I have not convinced you yet, if you've been sitting on the fence and you've been thinking, I wonder if I should work with Danny. I wonder if we should take a little bit of that time to make some change in my space, because HGTV, although those are really fun shows to watch, that's just inspiration overload. Or those magazines I look forward to getting every week, that's just really eye candy. It's not helping me move that needle. If you want to move your needle, I want to invite you to come on over, take a look at the lookbook, and get involved in DO Week that is happening next week, all designed around helping you take the action that is not best for everyone else. It's best for you. What is that action that's going to be best for you? And making progress in your own home. Very much like we've heard, you heard Kirsten from last week. And if you didn't hear that conversation, I do want you to go back and listen to it. I will bring that coaching call back around when she has kind of completed some of that. But what you need to know is big progress happened. Big progress. We were oohing and aahing and looking at how, she's got that plan and she's got that goal and she's making that space happen. And we heard big progress from Lorraine, who, if you heard her on the show a month or so ago, was kind of grappling with some color choices and which way do we lean? And Lorraine made a decision and it looks stunning. And Michelle, who is leaning heavily into her mid-century living room, and every time we get on a call, there's something new that is the decision that is being made that is getting her closer to that end goal. It is inspiring, to say the least. So friend, if you want to be inspired, encouraged, delighted, and take action intentionally, I want you to make sure that you're on my list so that you can get the best deals of the year, quite honestly. So come on over to bit.ly/designbestie, BESTIE, and you will get those deals delivered right to you. And until next time, I will see you soon. Hey, real quick before you go, if you learned something new or found value in today's podcast, would you head over to iTunes to Fig and Farm at Home and leave a review and subscribe to the show? That would be awesome. And if you'd like to connect with my community of mamas who are learning to be intentional storytellers within their own homes, join us at bit.ly/design101 group. There's always more room at the table. See you soon.